So my name's Tim. I'm a great Al-Anon. Very glad to be here. I've been an Al-Anon since September 1995. Each Al-Anon family group has but one purpose: to help families of alcoholics. We do this by practicing the 12 steps of AA ourselves, by encouraging and understanding our alcoholic relatives, and by welcoming and giving comfort to families of alcoholics. So the first part of that, each Al-Anon family group has but one purpose. And I think that comprises two ideas. First of all, uh, lots of other purposes have no place in Al-Anon. Secondly, that the meeting itself does indeed have a purpose. It's not simply, or a healthy meeting will have a purpose. A meeting which is, or a group which is complying with Tradition 5 will have a purpose. It's not simply a place to come to vent or dump um, or even just, catch up with how the week was. There's a purpose. Um, I brought a lot of friends to their first Al-Anon meeting, and very unfortunately, very few have gone back. And if I dare be controversial, the almost universal observation was that they didn't understand what the meeting was about. It simply appeared to be people talking about their feelings and their unhappiness. Um, and of course, that has a place. But I came to Al-Anon because I had a problem, which is that I was in a relationship with, or the real problem was me. What appeared to be the problem was being in a relationship with an alcoholic in recovery who uh, was a little tense occasionally, shall we say. Now, I learnt in Al-Anon that there were all sorts of other things going back years before that, things from my childhood and other alcoholics in my family and alcoholics in all parts of my life, and this needed to be dealt with. So I discovered lots of other reasons. But the purpose was to find a solution. It says to help. Uh, this means that uh, not just that I'm provided with relief, emotional relief, which Al-Anon indeed did provide. I mean, simply the fact of identifying and being identified with by other Al-Anon members is itself very powerful, I think. But that itself does not solve the problem. What solves the problem is fundamental change at every level of my belief, thinking, and behavior. That is that is the help that is on offer. And it is here in Al-Anon, and it's here, I believe, in the 12 steps. Uh, and the next line leads on from this very logically: to help families of alcoholics. What is the help? Practicing the 12 steps. And again, that entails, I think, two ideas. There is no other help on offer other than the 12 steps, and the 12 steps are what is on offer. They are the solution. And I think it's rightly said that the Al-Anon program is a gentle program. A friend of mine who comes to Al-Anon says, Al-Anonism is not gentle. And if one wants to really handle one's Al-Anonism, although no one is forcing me to take the steps, that's the gentleness. If I don't take them, I will be left with the problem. Um, so I treat the steps very seriously and very diligently. And I think there are four things which the steps have done. There are four elements to my Al-Anonic problem that the steps have, in combination with the traditions and the concepts, have frankly solved very effectively and very efficiently if I apply the program effectively and efficiently. The first one is that I did not take responsibility for myself, spending my whole time concerned with thinking about attempting to manipulate and manage the people around me. My own life was going to rack and ruin. I didn't go to the dentist for years. My teeth were fortunately fine, but I didn't even do some of those basic things. Diet is terrible. Um, what I've learnt to do is to put first things first. I'm of no use to anyone else if I'm in a devil of a state myself. The second thing was to stop taking responsibility for other people. And I can tell that I'm fixing to do that because I'm thinking about people who are not in the room. If they're not in the room and I'm thinking about them, there's something going wrong. I'm planning, I'm plotting, I'm scheming, I'm figuring out, I'm speculating. And that needed to stop. I've been married for a while, I've been with someone for 20 years who's not. This one isn't an addict or an alcoholic, which is a great mercy, I have to say. But he has some, shall we say, eccentricities. Uh, I'm not going to say character defects. As soon as I call them character defects, I'm in trouble. They're eccentricities. No one knows why they're there. And all I have to do is hoover around them. I don't have to change them. I'm not responsible for the consequences of his eccentricities. Um, a third thing I would do is not let people take responsibility for themselves. There were never any consequences, ultimatums, but no consequences. Um, what I've had to learn to do with the drinking alcoholics is to say, uh, or the ones who were in recovery and leave recovery, good luck to you. I can remain your friend, but I'm not going to be in a car with you. I'm not going to stay with you overnight. I'll visit with you, but I'm not going to stay overnight. I won't do it. Too dangerous for lots and lots of different reasons. These are consequences. And I've learnt to live with allowing those consequences to flow through. Um, and finally, and I think this is the key to the whole thing. So the first three, I didn't take responsibility for myself. I needed to learn to take responsibility for myself. Secondly, I took responsibility for other people. I needed to stop doing that. Thirdly, I didn't allow other people to take responsibility for themselves. I didn't hold them accountable. And now I do. And lastly, you see, I have gone through a lot of my life believing falsely that my emotions are attributable to other people's actions. Looking firstly to other people to rescue me or fix me, or secondly, looking to place the blame for my beliefs, thoughts, actions, internal world, external world, values, attitudes, emotions, everything, laying that at the door of other people, past and present. No one and nothing has ever made me feel anything. It is my internal response, it is my programming initially and now my will, which I've sought to bring in line with God's will. That is what dictates how I feel in any situation. Um, letting other people off the hook for everything is not to excuse, it is to forgive. These are entirely different concepts. Um, uh, to forgive is to detach entirely from other people's behavior. And not because it is excusable. The point of forgiveness, it is there for that which is inexcusable. They didn't necessarily do their best, and that's why forgiveness is necessary rather than an excuse. And it is the combination of these four improvements that have transformed my life, and it's come by sticking to the main thing, which is tradition 5. primary purpose. And that's all I have. Thank you.